हेलो फ्रेंड्स। आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे ओजोन होल फॉर्मेशन के बारे में। ओजोन होल का निर्माण, ओजोन लेयर में ओजोन होल का निर्माण कैसे होता है, इसके बारे में आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे। सो ओजोन होल मींस देयर इज नो होल इन ओजोन लेयर। ओजोन होल मींस देयर इज द थिनिंग ऑफ ओजोन लेयर। एक्चुअल में ओजोन होल मींस क्या होता है कि ओजोन लेयर की जो थिकनेस है वो कम हो जाती है, रिड्यूस हो जाती है। ठीक है। The ozone hole was discovered by three scientists, Jonathan Franklin, Joseph Harman, and Brian Gardiner. Okay, so these three scientists discovered the ozone hole. And the ozone hole first time was discovered in 1978. In 1978, they observed that there is a sudden and rapid decrease in the stratospheric ozone level at the end of Antarctica winter. And the Antarctica winter season is ranging from March to October months. So अंटार्कटिक के जो विंटर मंथ्स होते हैं उनमें स्ट्रेटोस्फेरिक ओजोन कंसंट्रेशन बहुत कम हो जाती है। ठीक है। सो दैट टाइम द ओजोन होल formation take place. So during the long winter months of darkness over the Antarctic, the atmospheric temperature is dropped below minus 78 degrees centigrade, minus 78 degrees centigrade. So during the Antarctic winter months, the temperature is reduced below minus 78 degrees centigrade. And this condition provide, these are the specific condition for the chemical reaction for the ozone hole formation. And these type of situation is not exist anywhere in the atmosphere. So the wind in the stratosphere, okay, because the ozone layer is situated in the stratospheric layer. So the wind in the stratosphere over the polar region. So this is the Earth. So these are the two poles. This is the upper one is the North Pole and the lower one is the South Pole. So the wind in the stratosphere of the polar regions intensify. So here there is a strong prevalent winds and these winds intensify and they form a polar vortex. Polar vortex means there is a circular ring of strong winds around the polar regions. Okay. So the polar vortex formation take place on both the poles, North Pole as well as साउथ पोल्स। ओके। सो दोनों पोल्स के ऊपर है वो पोलर वोर्टेक्स का फॉर्मेशन होता है। सो द पोलर वोर्टेक्स फॉर्मेशन टेक प्लेस ड्यू टू द स्ट्रॉन्ग विंड सर्कुलेशन अराउंड द पोल्स एंड these polar vortex, okay, so this is the earth and these are the poles. So here the polar vortex formation take place. So these polar vortex act as a barrier. Okay, these polar vortex act as a barrier that isolate the inside air. So whatever air present inside these polar vortex, that is isolated by the outer layer, and the temperature of this inner air is reduced below minus 78 degrees centigrade. Okay, and these layer of air is mainly composed of the mixture of the ice particles, nitric acids, and sulfuric acid. Okay, so here you can see in the this picture you can see the formation of polar vortex over the northern hemisphere. So this is the here this is the northern hemisphere and this is the southern hemisphere. On both the poles the polar vortex formation take place. So the polar vortex is low pressure areas. These are the low pressure areas where they are widened due to the continuous swirling circulating cold air around the polar regions. So here you can see when the wind is strong, when the circulating winds are strong. Okay, these winds are strong, so they form a stable polar vortex around the poles. Okay, but when these circulating air become weak, so these weak wind form a wavy type polar vortex, and these polar vortex to allow the movement of cold air from the northern pole to southern pole, and the warm air is moved from southern pole to the northern pole. So likewise, the air movement or air circulation take place. So the chemical reactions on the surface of these ice crystal. So the polar vortex, mainly this polar vortex formation is responsible for the ozone hole development, because due to the polar vortex formation, the temperature is reduced below minus 78 degrees centigrade. Okay, minus 78 degrees centigrade, and this temperature is responsible for formation of polar stratospheric clouds, and these clouds are mainly form of ice crystals, nitric acid, HNO3, and sulfuric acid. Okay, and the particles of these acids and ice provide the surface for the reaction of chlorine compounds. Okay, so these ice crystal convert the chlorine containing compound into HCl. Okay, and these HCl type compounds are harmless or to the ozone. They does not react with the ozone in the this vortex condition. Okay, when the sunrise over the Antarctic is started, so the winter is up to October months. Okay, so after October, the sunrise is started in the Antarctica, and due to the sunrise, there is rapid release of chlorine compound from these polar stratospheric clouds, and these chlorine molecules atoms react with the ozone molecules, and these ozone molecules, when these chlorine atoms react with the ozone molecules, they form chlorine monoxides. Okay, and these chlorine monoxides again react with the chlorine monoxide, and they form the dimer atoms. Okay, form the dimer. Two atoms combine together and they form the dimers. Okay, when the sunlight reach on this dimer, okay, so these dimers in the presence of sunlight release the chlorine atoms, and these chlorine atoms again react with the ozone, and they disintegrate the ozone layer into the oxygen. So here you can see there is the net decomposition of the ozone converted into the oxygen. So the ozone destruction is continuously due to the presence of these chlorine atoms in the polar vortex. When the ozone concentration is reduced a very low concentration, then these chlorine atoms react with the methane molecules and they form the HCl, hydrochloric acids, and these hydrochloric acid is present in the polar vortex. When the polar vortex is weakened or break down, then after the ozone level start increasing in the polar stratospheric region and return in the concentration that was earlier, or we can say pre-September level. Pre-September level means the ozone concentration that is present in the winter months. Okay. Now the polar stratospheric clouds, PSC. So polar stratospheric clouds is also known as nacreous clouds and mother of pearl. And these clouds having specific, these are very colorful clouds. They are looking like rainbow. Okay. So due to their iridescence or iridescence nature, they are very colorful and they are present in the winter polar stratospheric conditions. So these polar stratospheric clouds are wavy wave type clouds, and these clouds are generally found in the downwind of mountain range. And these clouds is also associated with very high surface winds. The polar stratospheric clouds form when the temperature is below minus 85 degrees centigrade in the stratosphere. And these clouds are mainly form of ice particles. And the size of ice particle is almost 10 micrometer. So these are the some characteristic of these polar stratospheric clouds. So this is the picture of polar stratospheric clouds. They are looking like a rainbow or very colorful. Whenever you see this type of clouds in the atmosphere, they are polar stratospheric clouds and they are mainly visible in the winter months. Now the polar stratospheric clouds are generally two type of polar stratospheric clouds are present. Okay, and these clouds are classified according to their chemical compositions. And these clouds are classified according to their chemical composition and they are measured by the using the lidar. So what is lidar? Lidar. So lidar is a light detection and ranging. This is an instrument that using the laser light for the measurement of the distance of the clouds from the earth surface or from the satellite. So these type of polar stratospheric clouds are classified into two categories. First one is the type 1 polar stratospheric clouds and second one is the type 2. So here the type 1 polar stratospheric clouds are mainly composed of the water, nitric acid or sulfuric acid. Okay. These clouds are formed when the temperature is below minus 78 degrees centigrades. So these clouds are again classified into three categories. Type 1 cloud. So type 1A, type 1B and type 1C. So type 1A clouds are mainly they are large as spherical particles. So the particle size is not shape is not spherical. They are not round shape. They may be like this one. So they are consisting the nitric acid trihydrate. So they are composed of nitric acid trihydrate. The type 1b cloud, they are small and they are having the spherical particles and they are mainly liquid supercooled ternary solution of sulfuric acid, nitric acid and water. And type 1c cloud are a metastable water rich nitric acid in solid phase. So here you can see the type 1b are present in the liquid phase and the type 1c clouds are having the nitric acid in the solid phase. Now the type 2 polar stratospheric clouds. So these clouds are rarely observed in the Arctic region. They are mainly composed of the water and ice, and they are formed when the temperature is below minus 83 degrees centigrade. So the only type 2 clouds are necessarily nacreous, okay, nacreous, where the type 1 cloud can be iridescent under the certain conditions. Means the type 1 cloud are looking like iridescence, they are multicolored or colorful clouds. So here are two type of conditions. So what happen when there is no polar stratospheric clouds and what happen when there is the polar stratospheric clouds are present in the stratospheric layer. So in above picture you can see in the absence of polar stratospheric clouds, the ozone depletion mainly take place in the gaseous phase. Okay. The ozone depletion is mainly due to the ozone react with the chlorine and they form the chlorine monoxide and oxygen in the presence of the sunlight. So these chlorine and ozone finally form the chlorine nitrate, ClONO2, and hydrochloric acids. And these both chemicals act as a reservoir in the absence of polar stratospheric clouds. But when the formation of polar stratospheric clouds take place, so these both the chemicals in presence of the UV radiation, they release the chlorine, and these chlorine act with the ozone, and they form the and they degrade the ozone layer or ozone molecules. So like this, in both the condition, how the ozone depletion or formation or ozone formation or depletion take place. So here you can see the upper part. So this part is the northern hemisphere, and this part is the southern hemisphere. Okay. So the northern hemisphere is also known as Arctic region, and the southern hemisphere is known as Antarctic regions. So in both the generally on the earth there are four seasons. Okay. What are these seasons? Winter season, summer season, spring, spring season, and autumn. So these are four seasons are generally present on the Earth's surface. But in the polar regions, in Arctic region or Antarctic regions, there are only two seasons. These are winter season and summer seasons. And the winter season in Antarctica is mainly, and both in both Antarctica and Arctic regions, both the seasons are opposite. When there is winter season in the Arctic region, in that time there is a summer season in the Antarctica region, and when there is summer season in Arctic region, that time the winter season in the Antarctic regions. So in Antarctica, the winter season is generally where started from October and it goes up to the March, and the summer started after March from April to first week of October. So this is the time period of summer and winter in the Antarctic pole or in Antarctica or in the southern hemisphere. And in Arctic circle, or we can say in the northern hemisphere, in this northern hemisphere, the winter is almost for 9 months, for 9 months, and summer is for 3 months only. So on both the poles, Arctic in Arctic region, or we can say northern hemisphere, or the Antarctica region, or we can say southern hemisphere, in both the poles, ozone or hole formations take place. Okay, but the severity is more observed more on the Antarctica region, and this in Antarctica, the in stratosphere, the ozone hole formation take place in started in the spring from October to December. In Arctic, the ozone hole started during the spring months, Arctic spring months, from the March month of the March. In both the poles, the ozone degradation mainly take place from by the same chemical reaction due to the formation of the polar stratospheric clouds, polar vortex formations, and the chlorine molecules or chlorofluorocarbons react with the ozone and they degrade the ozone molecules. Okay, so the first time the ozone hole was observed in 1985 in the Antarctica and in 2011 in the Arctic regions. So this is about the Arctic ozone holes and Antarctica ozone holes. सो फ्रेंड्स, थैंक यू सो मच। आज के वीडियो में इतना ही। अगले वीडियो में फिर मिलते हैं, तब तक के लिए नमस्कार।